Coach, what was the mentality like at practice today?
I think it was good. Obviously, we were disappointed after the game, but they know we have 3 games left, and they want to maximize all 3. And we're out here trying to get better.
If I know you say, and says most coaches do, that all losses hurt, but does that would not stick in your craw more than some others, given the position you're in with 4 or 5 minutes left in the game?
Yeah, I think you analyze them all, and they really do go down as kind of in the same pile. We didn't get it done. Had a lot of opportunities. Felt like we played to win. Felt like we had some good things going and just didn't close it out. So we moved on and getting ready for Baylor.
What do you think about coming out on offense the second half? You guys kind of reel off 21 right there. What do you think you guys really kind of did adjustments-wise halftime?
I think we just got in a groove.
Yeah.
Made some nice throws. Had some good things versus their man coverage on 3rd down that I thought our guys executed well, and just got rolling. Started slow, had a drop in that first drive that hurt us, and had some penalties that set us back. But I felt like the second half had a pretty good groove going.
Since that been an issue the last 3 weeks, and you scored, I guess, 3 touchdowns yesterday in the second half, do you feel like you learned anything about that you can carry that over into this week?
Yeah, I think just one of those things. You got to emphasize it. You got to work at it, and those guys carried it over from the practice field to the game, which was good. But we have to be better in the second half. We were a little bit better, but there's still ways to go.
How much did missing Jordan Brooks in that game affect the defense?
He's one of our better defensive players, so it didn't help. But I was proud of Rico Jeffers stepping in there as a true freshman, finding out he's going to start the night before, and he played hard. He was in on a bunch of tackles and did some nice things. But yeah, anytime you lose one of your best players, it's going to be tough.
How much had he repped?
He'd repped, but not with the ones as much, So he hopped in there and didn't back down. That's one thing about Rico, is he's a tough young man, very disciplined, hardworking, and he's not afraid.
Could you give an update on Lonzel and where things are at with him right now?
Yeah, Lonzel will be done for the rest of the year. Yeah, with his knee injury, and so he'll have surgery in a few weeks and go from there.
Coach, we've talked about Trey King a few times recently, and this week it seemed like he came out hot again. Got that early touchdown. Have you seen even more growth from him in these weeks, or what have you really seen from him?
Yeah, I think just being comfortable with our system, with the speed of the game. He's gotten more touches, and he's done well with them. He's a guy, I've said it since he started playing, he tends to fall forward, and that's what you want in a running back. Great in pass protection, loves to play the game, and really competes well for us every week.
Do you have any count of how many passes Eli Howard has gotten his hands on this season?
I'm sure they do. I don't have it off the top of my head, but he's very athletic, very good with his hands, and I think he's going to get his cast off this week, so he's telling me he's going to start catching some of those, so it's just tipping them. But he has a real knack for getting his hands up and anticipating those throws.
Which, we asked you, back in the spring and during the off-season, if Nick was a much better player than you anticipated. Is Eli Howard a much better player than you anticipated?
I think he's about where we thought. We saw him do some really disruptive things on scout team last year, and he carried over through the spring, and once he's kind of found his groove, he's showing up, making a lot of plays, being very disruptive, and so I think he's about where we expected him to be.
What did you end up thinking about how Justice played safety in that first half?
Yeah, he did some nice things. Once again, thrown into a position he hadn't repped a ton. We've moved him around it. He'd got the majority of his reps at nickel throughout the spring and summer and fall camp, but I thought he handled himself well. He's getting better every day. Coaches are having more and more trust in him, and so I think it was probably good for him to show that he can play some of that safety and be a versatile player for us.
And speaking of, could you use an update on Willie as well?
Yeah, he's day to day. We'll see where he's at, and that's kind of where we're at with it.
What does he have?
Just some dealing with some things.
So not injury related?
No.
After having a chance to look at film, what do you think about the last play?
Yeah, we'd like to keep it in and give Dylan a chance. I felt like that was kind of our shot. 4th and 5, wanted to give him a chance. Had a couple different options, and we just didn't. But would have liked to keep it from getting to that point. 4th and 5 from the 5 is a tough play, and we weren't able to execute.
Is that just a footwork thing of kind of overthrowing it like that?
I think so. I think just didn't really get set and just left it long. But they had a great connection the whole day, and that happens.
Talk to us about Dylan and how he was able to step up during the second half after being pretty much shut out in the first.
Yeah, I made a bunch of big plays. I felt like they were playing a lot of press coverage, rolling it away from him, and he was one-on-one, and Nick did a good job finding him, and those back shoulder throws are hard to defend. He's got great ball skills and really adjusted well on a bunch of those.
And he did it against guys regarded as one of the best corners in the conference.
Yeah, and he is, and that was great coverage. It was just those are hard to stop, those back shoulder throws when they're accurate, and you have a guy like Dylan who can adjust like that and has great hands. But that kid's a really good player.
So that was really the main thought process behind it, was that he was just having such a good day. You really wanted to just put the ball in the hands of.
Yeah. Nick was feeling confident going to him, and so we had a couple of different options, and he felt like that was the best option, and we just didn't execute it.
TJ had any issues with drops, or what's kind of your?
He hasn't. So that was a first for him. I haven't seen him drop any, really. So it happens to everybody. I felt like he made a big catch there coming back late, and he'll get that cleaned up. But he's very sure-handed, and so that was new for all of us.
On that last defensive drive, what kind of stuck out to you, things that went well, didn't?
Just allowing that first big play to get out the gate. We were in a kind of a preventative coverage, and it should have never happened. But you got to give them credit. They stepped up, make a good throw, and then we got to get them down, make it a 30-yard gain instead of a 60-yard gain, and it allowed them to get back into some of their base package instead of being in a 2-minute situation, which isn't really their strong point.
Two more.
But you got to take your hat off to that young quarterback for engineering that drive and executing the 2-point play, and he made throws when he had to.
Looking back, would you have changed anything, especially with the last 42 seconds?
No, I wouldn't. I mean, a lot of thought went into that, where we were at, what we needed to do, what we needed to get accomplished, and so I wouldn't change anything.
Now that you've lost, 4 in a row, how do you make sure that doesn't bleed over now that it's kind of started rolling along here like that?
Yeah, you just focus on what you control as a team, and they know they've had moments where they've been really good, and we still feel like our best football's in front of us. We know these are big time opportunities, these last 3. Anytime you get to go to AT&T Stadium, it's a really special place to play, and I think we're 1-5 against Baylor in the last 6, and so there's a lot to play for, and our guys will be ready to go.